This is Joe Costello's WFO Radio Ignition, covering everything that has wheels, an engine, and a driver.
The reason I race is to get the chicks. You know what I mean?
NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, sports cars, and NHRA drag racing.
Hey guys, just want to let you know, WFO rocks.
WFO Radio is total motorsports.
It's just so cool.
Fasten your seatbelts, fire up the ignition, and drop the hammer.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, here's your host, Joe Costello.
WFO back in studio after ZMAX Dragway and Talladega and Azerbaijan, and WFO Radio Podcast is rolling. Myself, Giovanni in Miami. What's up, everybody? Got a lot to get into, right? With the SportsCollision, everybody's favorite sports talk podcast, which is a show within a show inside WFO Radio Ignition. We'll get Fantasy League results, and we'll catch up with all that has happened around here while I was off in Drag Race Land. Man, Drag Race Land was good. We had a good time. Now, if you're new to the show, welcome to you. I would imagine you would want to subscribe, definitely, to this program for definitely a few weeks. I've also got some things we'll talk about later on in the program. You know, where the show is, Apple Podcasts, all that. The Samtech Factory Stock Podcast is up. Hopefully you guys checked it out after this weekend's racing. But bottom line, we're gonna blitzkrieg right through this program here today. Isn't that right, Giovanni in Miami?
Absolutely.
The Blitz is back. And I'm drinking a Dasani sparkling water, so it's kind of got me full of air. I'm feeling puffed up. I'm feeling puffed up great after this. And had a great weekend out there. Got up to Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the great Rich York. Hung out with Rich. Got to test drive his new Audi, which was kind of a fun experience. Right? He's like showing me the car. Next time we're going around the block, which was cool. The drag racing at ZMAX 4 Wide Nationals were great. The folks from NGK were great. Lots of fun stuff happened. Steve Torrance got the win. We're going to hear from Steve on NHRA Nitro. Sean Langdon got the win in Funny Car. We're going to hear from Nicky Bonafonte, crew chief for Sean Langdon on the show. And some others. K-Mac and Alan Reinhart and others. Lots of others. All kinds of others. But it was a fun weekend completely, top to bottom. Good stuff. A lot of work, though, man. Hustle. Mike Salinas gave away a Harley-Davidson to each one of his crew guys.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say it's nice. It was a shocking display of generosity. But it was cool. We had to plan a gag to reveal we were like Oprah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was an Oprah moment. It was cool for me because I got to have an Oprah moment.
Sure.
Where everybody got a Harley-Davidson. So it was like, you get a Harley-Davidson, and you get a Harley-Davidson. And you get a Harley-Davidson.
Harley.
Right.
You.
There was 10. There was 10 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have made it like if they gave away 18 or so.
Well, they gave away a lot. It was a fun deal. But meanwhile, Talladega looked like a sellout or close. And so far, you know, I think maybe they deserve a third race at Talladega. Why not? Chase Elliott gets the win. Chase Elliott wins the race. Joey Logano was leading late, made a bad move, went up to block Kurt Busch, and was messing around with Kurt Busch, and they're all going up the racetrack, and Chase Elliott and the Camaros just drive by. Chevrolet, I guess, gave him the riot act. You will work together. And they did. And
they made him an offer they couldn't refuse.
Maybe not. Chase Elliott winning at Dega, though. That's very popular. Talladega loves the Elliott family, and they love the Earnhardt family. If your last name starts with E, you're good at Talladega. But it was pretty interesting and exciting. I was able to get back today and watch most of the race and, on fast forward, and then watch the last couple of laps and the big one, the vicious one. No restrictor plate, but tapered spacer did make for, I felt like the racing was good, exciting. There was kind of a pack, but they could move around in the pack. You could kind of come up. I thought it was fine. But Kyle Larson gets airborne, hits the wall, rolls, and I couldn't help but think about, man, it's Bobby Allison in 1988. barrel rolling. Here we are, right back to this. The first race without a plate, just coincidence. And Kyle Larson was okay, but you got a car barrel rolling. And a barrel rolling car. Now, the only difference is this was on the backstretch, I feel like, and away from people. The thing that was...
Yeah, closer to the infield wall.
The thing that was frightening about Bobby Allison's, and really the reason they went with the plates, is because of the cars getting airborne going towards the stands.
Absolutely.
Which is a nightmare if you really want to think about it. If you want to carry that thought process out a little bit. Nightmare. Nightmare.
Scary.
But, nightmare. But
frightening.
Well, let's move forward. But Kyle, big hit. Maybe a little debate, like whether or not they should have thrown out the caution when Stenhouse crashed and then slid out of the way, because if they had, then the race would have been over, and they would have just brought him back, and Kyle would have never hit the wall, and, the space-time continuum would have been different. I totally get why they left the green flag out. They wanted to give the fans a race. They had a packed house. They gave them a race, and you know what? The fans were great, and Kyle's okay, and so there you go. So we'll get into that. We'll get into the results. We'll talk a little Formula One. We'll give the Haas F1 report. It is kind of a tough time right now in the land of Haas F1, though. No points. I asked Giovanni, because I was watching Formula One out there as best as I could to this point on the show, but then the show starts, and here we are. Show starts. That's it. Ready or not, here it is. And so, Gio, what happened with the button? Like 12th and 13th or something. No points? No points. That's it. And that's the thing about Formula One. Did you get points? No, we did not get points. That's it. Bad day.
You didn't have a good day.
Bad day. Did you get points? Yes. All right. It was a decent day. Good day. Was it great? And that all depends on how many points you got. If you got 1 or 2 points, no. If you had 5, yeah. You're doing pretty good. So we'll get into that. The month of May is right around the corner, so we'll be talking about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Last night, Game of Thrones. Yeah, I know our audience doesn't like Game of Thrones. I don't care. I got to put it out there. There's somebody out there. There's a good probably 20% that care about the Game of Thrones. I know Matt Man does, I'm sure. But it was a long episode, and it was the battle that you've been promised since, years. Years and years and years. Years and years were like building up to this moment, and
I heard nobody saw it.
Well, it was very dark. It was a very dark problem, and some people are speculating there was a production issue at HBO. Some people are speculating that people just have crappy TVs, but there's a lot of speculation going on. The battle takes place in the middle of the night, in the middle of winter.
Okay.
And there's like all kinds of fires burning. Like everything is lit by fire.
I'm sure they don't have like big street lights, down the highway or anything like that, right?
In Game of Thrones land, there is no electricity.
Oh my goodness!
No.
How do people live?
I know. That's what makes it. That's one of the reasons I watch on a regular basis. Nor indoor plumbing. How do they survive? Who cares about a throne?
Sounds like a stinky society.
You could win the whole thing by just inventing the actual throne. A toilet.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what?
Indoor plumbing.
I have invented this. But somehow no one ever has to go to the bathroom on Game of Thrones.
I would imagine.
I cannot really recall too many scenes of...
So no night vision goggles and stuff like that for this fight?
No. But it was great, man. It was great. And I had to watch it in 2 pieces. Because I got back from the racetrack, I went out to dinner. Because I'm the type of person who will always, all right, here's me. There is a TV show coming on that I want to see, and it's at 9 o'clock, but I get invited to dinner. So I'm going to go to dinner. I did take my own car, though, and then I tried to hustle back, and I got back at like 9:20. So I missed the first 20 minutes of an hour and a half.
Why didn't you just back it up?
I could have right, exactly. Yeah, come on, Hilton. What's up with the no DVRs in the room? No DVRs in the room. I'm surprised they haven't started marketing that. So I get back 20 minutes in, and I start watching from there. And it's a great spot to start watching from. Like, one of those break in the action scenes that they throw into all battle scenes. Like fighting, break. What are these people thinking? Oh, man, they're thinking about the fighting. What's happening with the fighting? What's going on? Like the people who can't fight, they have to stick them somewhere too. And so that's where I picked it up. and then I go back to the fighting. It was very dark, like you couldn't see a lot. And I thought maybe it's like The Godfather, where everything was like, that's the cinematography of the deal. They wanted it to be dark. They shot it dark.
I mean, that would be my assumption.
Yes, that was the dark part, was the
art of it. I doubt that this show, which is, as far as I know, the most popular show in the universe.
Yes.
And which has a weekly production budget of
like
a
dollars.
Big budget summer movie, like $100 million from what I understand.
Yes.
Per episode, pretty much.
Right. They didn't just make a mistake. But anyway, so we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
About what the story is something about the TVs, the screens used to put it together. But I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't buy that. I don't believe
it was intended.
It has to have been intended.
They're fighting against dead people in the middle of the night, in a blizzard, in the winter.
They were probably trying to be artsy.
Yes.
And
you're fighting against these dead people, right? And you're like sword play. So the darker it is, the less work you have to show. Like a sword chopping the head off of a dead zombie. But in the dark, you could just kind of, the shadow.
I understand where you're coming from.
It saved them a lot. It was a battle in the middle of the night. But anyway, so then I get back from my flight today, and I watch the first 20 minutes. And there is one scene that was just like, wow.
And was it first 20 minutes regular lightness, or like regular?
Well, I watch on my television.
Or was it only? Is it the whole episode just takes place at night?
Whole episode takes place at night.
Oh, okay. So for all we know,
you've seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So it's a siege. Like they're in a fort, and here come the bad guys, and they're coming at them. And
I understand. I just didn't. I was just questioning whether at some point the sun rises and the battle's over and it's the next day, or if the day started and turned into night.
No,
that's all I'm asking.
Every minute was like,
I am a little,
from midnight till like 4 a.m.
Right.
I'm guessing, or like this. It was not any sun.
Midnight.
There was fire. The fire was very bright. It was bright like fire.
Well, they say it's darkest right before dawn, so I would say it was probably getting close to like sunrise.
Well, maybe so. And, they showed the dragons, and the dragons, like Godzilla, they blow out fire.
But why didn't they light up the sky, the dragons? They should have gotten together and,
Well, one's good and one's bad. Or two are good, one is bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See,
I know. I thought the dragons were like
belonged to
like the blonde girl and they were good.
But one was taken over by the bad guys.
Who's good and who's bad, really? Like,
well, we really don't know that.
Right, exactly. I mean, no, but I meant it like
just like with Johnny and Daniel San. Back in the day, we thought it was Daniel San who was a good guy. It turns out Johnny was the good guy.
I know. Look at Cobra Kai.
And Cobra Kai is actually a good thing. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. And that's the thing. Maybe years from now, we'll find out that the Night King was actually just trying to do a good thing and give everybody like a positive situation. That the dead people actually really liked everything that was going on. They were just trying to convert everybody.
That zombies are good.
It's cool to be a zombie.
Well, apparently, zombies are in it. Everything's zombie related in the world now.
It is a little funny that after all this, Game of Thrones is really just a zombie movie.
Or a show.
But it's not, though, because they've only been around for a little bit. Like, here they come, they're coming for 6 seasons, and then they got here last night.
Oh, wow. So, you see, I didn't realize that all this 6 years has been culminating
to that last night.
That everybody knew that this is what was happening.
And that's why it was the biggest. I don't know the numbers. I have no idea what the numbers are. Do you think they're out?
Well, I'm sure it wasn't like Avengers Endgame numbers. $1 billion, 1.3 billion over the weekend worldwide.
It's a big weekend for entertainment.
Absolutely.
How about that? We said that it was going to be big, but that's like
who knew?
Didn't they?
It did open on Thursday night.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
They took full advantage of the weekend.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But Avengers Endgame did in one weekend what Titanic did, like over a long time. The $1 billion mark was like a huge milestone for Titanic, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I remember this.
But I would also say that there's ticket price inflation is not adjusted for that.
Okay.
I would assume.
Take that, Leo.
Well, he dies.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous. She should have pulled him up on that door. The two of them could have been up there. She let him sink. Come on, he couldn't find something to float on? Let's get back into our normal thing. And this is going to be a all-direction drive program because just so much is happening. So much is happening. Advanced frontal protection to be implemented starting at IndyCar Grand Prix. We'll have to read about that one. But right now, we're going to get into the great people that sponsor WFO. And I'm going to give them all a big name check and a big, juicy, wet kiss because they deserve it. And that will happen as soon as I find the list of people who are the big sponsors of WFO. Like Cat Spot Litter and MagicDry.us. Scott Palmer. Skipping out a session and going to the second round of racing. He and Dom Lagana able to advance in their quad. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure at frankhawley.com. Frank, people talking about the two-seat dragster out there. We were talking about you could drive it yourself at the Dragster Adventure. It's kind of cool. Rodax Coffee and Grills.com. Marvin Rodak. Hot sauces and spice rubs, everything good. Today, I made some time for a little Rodax hot sauce with something that was just totally, you wouldn't think it goes with hot sauce, but it did. The samtech.edu Start Your Education at Full Speed program is fantastic. Brian Massengill and I will be working on the next Samtech Factory Stock podcast. If you haven't heard that yet, you really should subscribe. Check it out and please write a review. Carl Tasca was awesome. He said he talked a little smack about the Chrysler boys. And there's a lot of that going back and forth. It was fun. It was well-loved out there. People enjoyed it. It was cool stuff. That is samtech.edu. Hankstafers. Hankstafers.com offers products to offer consistent and reliable performance in your metalworking business. Check out Hankstafers.com, Hankstafers Laboratories. Audible.com/WFO Nitro. That's audible.com/WFO Nitro. Start your 30-day free trial. For those of you who like to listen, you can always transfer to a new device. Audible.com/WFO Nitro and motorsportsguys.com. Terry McMillan's new mail-order business, Amelie Motor Oil, K&N filters, all kinds of parts and pieces at motorsportsguys.com. Plus, of course, Big Fish Tools Alton and Drag Racing Edge Magazine and EV3, big supporters of WFO. And our people are still playing EV3, hopefully, and they're getting their prizes, hopefully, and it's something I haven't had to think about for a while, and I'm feeling kind of great about that. You know, I haven't been yelled at for not sending out the prizes.
Now that's
they're
a good
going
thing.
The prizes. No, there's a big,
not getting yelled at is always a good thing.
Big lesson learned with that. Big lesson learned. And just thanks to Chris, who designed EV3, who has taken over the responsibilities.
Way to go, Chris.
Yeah, way to go. Woo! I feel happiness about that because people are getting their copy of Drag Racing Edge magazine. It's a nice little cross promotion. Anyway, all right. So Chase Elliott wins the race. Alex Bowman second, Ryan Preece third. So it's 3 Chevrolets at the top, 2 Hendrick Chevrolets. So just what we were saying the other week about, these guys better start, making a move. And big win for Chase Elliott. Let's hear what Chase had to say after his grand victory.
Last year obviously was good with the 3 wins. The cool thing about today is how early in the year it is, and those playoff points propelling some of those guys to the Final Four. Obviously, you need to win at other places, aside from a speedway too, but a sticker's a sticker, and the playoff points are what they are, and I think it's important to rack them up as early as you can, as long as you can keep stacking on top of it, so it's certainly a big deal. Excited about it, and just nice to get a speedway win. We've been close and had some really fast cars, and Alan's never won one in his 15 years crew chiefing, or however many years it's been, so that's pretty cool. And just looking forward to enjoying it.
And he will enjoy it, and it was kind of cool. Look, you want NASCAR to be popular? Chase Elliott needs to win some races. Simple as that. These young guys need to start winning some races, get up there and be personalities and be characters, and the crowd certainly love them. And racing in front of a packed grandstand brings out a whole lot of energy. And it feeds upon itself. It's still no excuse for what happened in Bristol and Richmond, though. No excuse. Like, what is up? And I don't know. Maybe it's a different part of the country, depressed. Maybe the folks in Talladega are, wealthy. And the folks in Bristol are not. Like, I don't know. I haven't been hearing good things about Alabama lately. And our great friend Restrictor Plate had something to do with it, and I'm not exactly sure. I met friends of Millerman out at ZMAX Dragway. They said what's up to me. And I said what's up to them. But Millerman did not come out. But anyway, Restrictor Plate Sean had posted a video of him like, you know the big giant tractor trailer that carries the big flag? He might have been driving it maybe. Like, maybe. Wow. He was on the track.
Is he going to change his name?
Right, to Tapered Spacer. Tapered Spacer. Yeah, he doesn't listen enough. I'm going to have to get him with that one. Here's the rest of the results. Chase Elliott wins the race. Alex Bowman, the showman, second. And Ryan Preece, third. How about Ryan Preece?
Look, man, it's a Tapered Spacer race.
FFTS. Fans for Tapered Spacer. It was good.
I'm not saying it was bad,
good.
But
it was good.
Much like the Restrictor Plate race, here I'll quickly.
Let me get through the results while you quickly do whatever. Ryan Preece third, Joey Logano fourth, who pretty much gave away the win going up to block. Daniel Hemrick fifth, sixth Kurt Busch. Good run for Kurt. Ryan Newman, 7th. Brendan Gaughan, 8th. Eric Almirola, 9th. He was involved in a couple incidents. Kyle Busch, 10th. Corey LaJoie, 11th. Daniel Suarez, 12th. Brad Keselowski, who spun backwards into his pit spot, which was kind of cool, 13th. Austin Dillon, 14th. Ryan Blaney, 15th. Followed by Paul Menard, Ty Dillon, Reed Sorensen, Eric Jones, Martin Truex Jr., who was involved in an incident. Lord Byron, Jeffrey Earnhardt, David Reagan, Kyle Larson was involved in a wicked hard crash. Good and lucky to walk away, as was Ricky Stenhouse. Ross Chastain, Parker Kligerman, Cody Ware, Clint Boyer, Chris Buescher, Matt DiBenedetto, who I like to call Matty D, Justin Haley, Jimmy Johnson, early crash. Landon Castle, Stanton Barrett. That's awesome. I love Stanton Barrett. I didn't know Stanton Barrett was in there.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin, Matt Tifft, Kevin Harvick, Bubba Wallace, and Michael McDowell. I'd like to see Stanton Barrett back there more. Stanton Barrett, son of the late, great Stan Barrett, Hollywood stuntman, who is the
son is too
inspiration for Colt Seavers and Hooper. And we had Stanton Barrett on WFO. Remember that?
Yes, we did.
He was pushing the CBD oil. He had his own CBD oil business. Maybe that was even the sponsor. Boy, has that CBD stuff taken off.
It sure has.
In Tennessee, CBD, so like, you know, when you go to the deep south.
Everywhere right here, they play those commercials all over the sports radio.
But wait a second. See, you say everywhere. No, you're in South Florida. You are likely to see something that is new and cutting edge in South Florida, even questionable.
I see what you
mean. Tennessee, that they're going to, something from the wacky weed, and they're going to put a store in, and they're going to let the person have a sign that's got like a green plus or cross. Like Red Cross, but Green Cross. It's a plus. CBD, because it's a positive thing. It's a plus, because it's a positive thing in your life. CBD. Well, let me tell you, when I'm up there, man, there's CBD stores everywhere. CBD. And I don't have the heart to tell the people, man, that stuff doesn't work.
I was about to say the same thing. That's nonsense.
Should we be trying to make money with CBD? What's wrong with us? Why are we missing this opportunity? Seriously.
I'm not getting involved in that.
What, making money?
Well, yeah, no, I like to make money.
Why don't we have a shop and pushing the CBD out there? What? We can get it. We buy low. We sell high. We come up with some cool wrappers. We make it, it's going to cure the pain, which, by the way, it does for many, many people. It's not like a pharmaceutical, but there are positive uses. Now, what I'm saying is that the people that are full legal in other states, they're getting the real effect as opposed to Tennessee CBD.
The oil, right? It's like an oil. You rub it on or something, from what I understand.
Everything you can imagine. Oils and creams and pills and lotions.
Right. I'm sure it's kind of like Barry Bonds. He didn't know what he was putting on.
Things like you put
dropper,
under your tongue.
Like a dropper, some kind of liquid in the mouth.
Anything you can imagine, they've got CBD.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and they're making so much money, and we're not part of this. We should be pitching CBD on WFO. Who wants some CBD? Email us. Should we start pitching CBD on WFO? There you go. Our own line. That is interesting. Now, you mentioned A-Rod. Billy Corbin's got a new movie out.
I mentioned A-Rod. Oh, no, I did not mention A-Rod, first of all. I mentioned Barry.
Oh, Barry.
Yeah, that was
different. That triggered me.
Well,
to
Billy I do know
Corbin's
about Billy Screwball.
Screwball.
Yeah.
We should try to get Billy on the show.
Yeah.
I've reached out to him on Twitter. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah, we had one interaction, so.
We got to watch the movie first.
Well, yeah. We got to watch the movie.
I'll go home and watch it. I'll go rent it or whatever it is.
No, well, let's watch it together. Watch it one time.
By the time
so we don't
you're
have to
both
be
around.
Yeah, so true. So true. And so those are your results for the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. Chase Elliott, a winner again, and a big win. And let's transition right immediately to the WFO Radio Fantasy League standings, where Patrick, the webmaster, has gotten right on it and gotten the results up.
Wow, that's awesome.
Do you think Patrick listens to the show on a weekly basis?
Nope.
No. He might, though.
No, I don't believe it.
Car 24 fan, 334. Craig and Newhall, 326. So Car 24 fan wins the week. Third is Beats 1. Did Beats change their name? Fourth is Rich and Saugus, 320. Royal Flush Racing is 298. Mr. Fantasy NASCAR is 296. WFO Joe is up on the big board. Wow, get the chalk. Cadillac board, 295. Get up on the board because of a 295 in a league that 400 happens. Fine time to leave me loose wheel, 8th, tied with you per 1 in the Bug Barn, 288. Most points, Car 24 fan, 334. Biggest gainer, Craig and Newhall, up 15 positions. The biggest loser, what? Down 36 positions and scoring a total of only 38 points. A little low.
Oh, wow.
What happened there?
I thought it had been me or Gray.
But really little low. How does this happen?
Yeah, I think that's just a failure to set a team.
Go to his team in the site, the driver group game.
Let me see.
You'll be able to see it. Like maybe all his guys just crashed right away.
I will see what I can do here.
Let me go back to the results and make some predictions.
No results.
So he had Michael McDowell, he had Kevin Harvick, he had Denny Hamlin, and he had.
Oh, you found it?
No, I'm just picking popular drivers that are at the back of the field.
Well, Harvick wrecked too.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Well, he was involved in the wreck. It wasn't his fault, but
yeah, he got hit in the door and then he hit the wall and then he left.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, no wonder Patrick is doing the
putting the Little Low had had.
This is Little Low, not Miss Little.
Oh, Little Low.
Little Low. He's like Low, but little.
Oh, Little Low quit because he had Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Darrell Wallace. And so Joey Logano didn't get him any points because he's already used them 10 times.
What?
And Kurt Busch used them 10 times. So that means he hasn't set a team in pretty much since week 1 is what my guess would be.
Wow, he was killing it for a while. It was going great.
Yep.
Well, there it is.
I hate to have to call the kid out, but
wow.
Fact's a fact.
Well, no, it's good to know. It's good to know. And so the plummet will begin. He's got other
things.
Miss
Dirty Hippies quit too.
Really?
I don't want to say that. I call her out, but yeah. Wow, which bodes terrible for the Gray, who is way down there with them and did not quit.
I climbed up 8 positions, but here it is. Overall, Patrick the Webmaster retains the top spot by only 1 over Steve the Trucker, I Can See Her Almirolas. So that's a great battle, and both of them know that it means a lot to be on the trophy. Car 24 fan 3rd, Royal Flush Racing 4th, Mr. Fantasy NASCAR 5th, Jambalaya J Racing 6th, Rich and Saugus 7th, 8th is Bulls Wool, 9th is Craig and Newhall, and 10th is Bobby's Bug Barn, all of those drivers within 135 points of each other. Now on the 5s, 15th, Tom Inc., who is behind Smothered and Covered and ahead of Team 12. 20th, Fat Tire 22. Stubo 23rd. El Jefe 25th. 29th, it's a tie, Ray Indy and Derail 100. 31st is Lugnuts. 35th, Highline Real Fine, just behind Marvin Rodak, A26 guy. Mrs. Dirty Hippies, down 9. There it is. 37th. 40th, little low. A little low. But he's going to get passed by a hockey kid in Gio in Miami. Gio, you're 42nd. And who is right behind you? Dirty Hippies, 45th. 47th, WFO Joe. 49th, Spider Monkey Racing. 50th,
I've had
Barbecue
a bad
Bob.
few weeks, man. I haven't.
55th, Los Chingones. The champ, man, the champ. I have had a terrible. 58th, Miller Man. 60th, Aviator Racing. 62nd, Team Gray. Come on, Team Gray. 65th, Easy 009. 68th, Race Guitar. And that's it. And there it is. Yeah, you know, like, sometimes fantasy is like getting kicked in the teeth.
Everybody takes a beating sometime.
Yeah, so true. So true. But you would want to stick with it till the end. I set a team. I adjusted my team.
Yeah, you see, I did not, actually. I kept the same team now for like 2 or 3 weeks. I will make sure to set a team this week.
What, you're still on your old team?
Yeah, I don't even know who I had there.
The new website, man. I don't know. It's a challenging thing. It's not as easy for my mobile. I never set up the mobile.
I find it to be not as easy as the previous one either.
Yeah, I don't know why. We got to fight through it, though, man. We got to fight through it. We can't lose the fantasy league, Gio, just because you're not interested. Like the Picks Show. You've single-handedly killed the Picks Show.
I have.
Well, didn't Bob send us the odds?
I responded. I sent an order. I picked. Bob picked. Did you pick?
I didn't even see the email.
Okay. Well,
I'm
then,
working,
you know.
dude. There's no way possible.
Dude, it happened on like Tuesday.
No way.
Yeah, Wednesday.
I didn't see that until Friday afternoon.
So you saw it.
Yeah, Friday afternoon.
Well, you should have picked then.
There was no opportunity to pick anything.
Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Words.
Get out of here.
Words.
Why don't you get it done earlier in the week?
It did. It went through like on Tuesday.
That's ridiculous.
Why are you such an excuse machine, dude?
Well, because it's...
Why don't you just take some responsibility for your failures?
It's not possible at the racetrack. Once at the racetrack, it's not possible. It's not. Like, that's the thing. It's not possible.
You found a way to sit in front of the TV and watch Game of Thrones. What do you mean nothing's possible?
Sunday night, after it was over, I'll be happy to make the picks now if you're giving me that option. Let's see. I'm going to take Chase Elliott. You know.
Well, I don't know that Bob didn't pick Chase Elliott.
I feel like the kid is going to run pretty well. And, you know, for my dark horse, I think I'll go with Ryan Preece. Long shot, right? Give it a ride. Let's see how they come out. So there you go. There's Fantasy League results. We're going to have to double down. We have to figure out the pick show, folks. Pick show is dying because we're doing it on Monday night. Bob doesn't get the odds out until like Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we get just heavily involved. And then the travel begins, and it just doesn't happen. That's what's happening with the pick show. It might just have to be one of those things, man. But at that point, we'll just tell Bob, stop sending the odds. Or maybe we just post the odds. I wouldn't want to, like, disaffect our gambling.
Oh, look at this. Bob picked Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman.
See, so there was no point in me even bothering.
Why would you even try?
Why would I even try? Why would I even try? Hey, I want to say thanks to all our friends out there who stepped up and pledged to the Florida Man card game. A big thank you to those of you who helped us reach our funding goal. We're excited to get this game out into the world and hope that you enjoy it as much as we do. Since we hit our goal early, they're going to pack some additional rewards for our core game funders. And so they did some cool stuff. It says Florida Man card game, David and David. And, you know, I don't know. I have no way of knowing if any of the WFO people stepped up to get the Florida Man card game. Thank you, Joe, for believing in the Florida Man card game. We salute you, your new besties, the Florida Man crew. And let me tell you, there was like several Florida Man headlines this past weekend. You know who tweets Florida Man headlines all the time? Billy Corbin. And now I have followed, since I've got live an Apple Watch life, I am following people's Twitter much better. Because it goes right to the watch, you know what I mean? It's not like you can pull out your phone and
I hear you.
So I'm following the Yankees. I'm following the Marlins. I'm following Billy, I'm following you whenever you tweet. I know what you tweet. Like your fetish with, that's Vlad Guerrero's kid, right? Vlad Jr.?
Is that what that was?
Every you tweet like 5 times a day about this guy.
No, I just tweet baseball stuff.
Yeah,
that interests me.
It's all about him.
Well, because he got called up.
I know, but like there was like 6 in a row.
Dude, did you watch any of them?
No.
Kid's outstanding.
I'm sure he is, but players come and go all the time.
Well,
You never get excited about one like this?
I don't know.
The NFL draft happened. We got to get that. Put
Yeah,
that
you
in
ready?
SportsCollision. No. Let's do Formula One first. Let's do Formula One first.
15-second recap.
Yeah, give it to me. Valtteri Bottas won the race. Lewis Hamilton second. Vettel third. Verstappen fourth. Leclerc fifth. Sergio Perez sixth. Carlos Sainz seventh. Lando Norris, eighth. Ninth, Lance Stroll. And 10th, the Kimster, Kimi Räikkönen. K-Mag was 13th. And Roman Grosjean did not finish.
Brakes broke or
blowed
something
up.
to that.
Broke.
Perfect. Yep.
Broke. And so there you go. So give me the thrill of the race. Azerbaijan. Baku.
No, another race that was unfortunately decided right at the beginning. Valtteri was able to hold off Lewis in this race.
Great wheel-to-wheel battling, those two, by the way. They found a way to not crash into each other.
They did. And they battled a little bit also at the last, I believe at the last stint for the lead there. And Lewis maybe thought the wiser of it and let Valtteri have a win. And now they're essentially tied 4 races in, right? I believe that's what we're in, 4 races in. You could confirm that there while I continue. But once again, I mean, the real story is that Ferrari just doesn't have enough for Mercedes again. Sebastian just didn't have it. Valtteri and Hamilton really, I feel like if Hamilton really, if he wanted to force the issue, he could have caught Bottas. After that last, I guess it was virtual safety car, really, the Mercedes were able to just pull away.
So is it just me, or is the season over?
I mean, it's not really. We're going now to
do you
Barcelona,
feel like Ferrari has got a
the
chance
season,
to win a championship?
No, I do not. It doesn't feel that way now. But, almost anything can happen if they get the right updates or upgrades or whatever they're called now that they're going to España. And this is the track where the testing was. And so if they could find their testing speed and close out the season with a bunch of 1-2s, then there's hope. But, what are the odds of that happening? Right now it doesn't look good.
No. And what's up with Haas F1, man? Tough
Unfortunately,
stuff. We read that story.
They're still having problems with, originally it's been a tire issue where they're not able to keep the right temperature of the tire going, and so they're fairly decent in qualifying, but even that didn't go so well this week. And then they haven't been able to find any race pace. They've just... Unfortunately, you know what? A little bit of growing pains is what we're going through. This is a very young team.
Groin pains.
And sometimes, sophomore slump can be a junior slump.
That's not what it is.
Slump.
That's not what it is. I know what it is.
What is it?
Really want to know?
Sure.
We don't have the right gear. We're not wearing the right gear. We're wearing last year's gear. We have not updated our gear. That's my theory. The cosmos is not at peace.
Or the black and gold car is bad luck?
Well, it could be that, but I don't want it to be that. I like
the way it looks, too.
But I like the gray, the red. I like that, too. The gray and the red and the white was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And now it's black and gold. Got to get up there. You got to mix it up. So, I don't know.
Could be, Hammer.
Roman Grosjean, driver of the number 8 Rich Energy Haas F1 team. My brake pedal was going to the floor, so for safety reasons, we had to retire the car. Before that, it was going as well as we could have hoped for. The first few laps on the medium tire was very difficult, then the softs grains, but we came back a little in the fight. I was really pushing the car to its limits. I had a lockup in turn 15. I went straight and had to go a little bit on the escape road, which wasn't great. I then tried to hang in there, but the pace wasn't there. We need to sit down now and really analyze everything we can. We need to react to be able to fight for a good Constructors' Championship place. Yeah, no, they're laying an egg. They're stinking it up. I believe we got the car for it. We just have very annoying to have this underlying issue, which we believe is tire-related. Hopefully for Barcelona, we can be in a better place. That was Roman Grosjean. Here's what K-Mag says. Now driver in the number 20. So, K-Mag 20. Grosjean
yeah, I think
8.
he's been.
No, I know. I just that's something we don't say a lot. Formula One numbers are not really like a thing.
Well, because historically the number was just wherever you finished the previous season. And I guess somewhere along the line, after Liberty bottom, or is that when they decided that to let the drivers just have whatever number they want?
No, that's been longer than that.
Okay.
Schumacher had a number. It was a tough day.
Oh, yeah, and it was usually 1.
He won, but no, not always. Like, there were years that he won the championship that he didn't carry number 1, I think.
I don't believe
Not
that.
exactly sure. Got to look that up. It was a tough day. It's obviously not the result we were hoping for. This is Kevin Magnussen. We'll work hard for Barcelona and move on. At least we have some data from there in terms of where the car was working and testing, although temperatures will be a lot different. We didn't expect this kind of start to the season, but all we can do is keep working to resolve our issues, keep looking for a solution. That's correct. That's all you can do is keep fighting. Keep fighting like you're the Dothraki fighting against the army of the dead. It's a very disappointing result, says Gunther Steiner, team principal. We just need to get better in understanding the tires. Now, there it is. It's new tires this year, remember. And they haven't figured them out yet. We've been struggling with the introduction of these new tires since the beginning of the year. We need to get a grip of it. Ba-dum-bum. It's quite disappointing that everything is in if you get the tire to work or not. Everybody else seems to be figuring it out, so we need to work hard on that to figure out the tire. And there it is. That's Rich Energy Haas F1 team. Your Formula One recap. When's the next race? España.
Barcelona.
Yeah, a couple weeks. May
2
10th.
weeks.
May 10th. And then Monaco, just like that. Can you believe it? Wow. The years just fly on by, man. All you kids out there, enjoy every second. It's coming. The winter's coming. It is. All right, what else do we have? Let's do Sports Collision. Oh, here it is. O'Donnell talks about Talladega finish. We were talking about that. The discussion was to have our desires for the fans to always finish under green. You want to let the race play out as much as we can. And that starts almost with Eric Jones' car spinning, going into 3 and 4. Do you throw that caution or do you hold off and see if the car is able to roll off? And it did. It rolled off. Certainly, if he was stalled out on the apron, the caution comes out. But what we saw, he was able to drive off. So that's kind of our philosophy in the closing laps. When it comes to the 17 hitting the wall and going down on the apron, then what we're looking at is, does he have the ability to fire the car back up and drive off or not? And is there anything on the track? The car was killed. We're going 200 miles per hour, so to quickly look at all that takes a few seconds, and by the time that happens, cars are out in 1 and 2. His car doesn't roll off, so we throw the caution. The caution flag was almost at the exact time when the Larson incident happened. So what they're saying is they were throwing the caution. Even if there was no incident on the backstretch, that caution would have come out. Interesting. Muy interesante.
Well, yeah, I guess in theory, if the car is there, they weren't going to be able to come around racing to the flag.
NASCAR, but by the way, I'm reading this off J-Ski, and I'm so happy about it. J-Ski is back. And this happened, our friend Rob D'Amico from Race Day Nation, who is working on something new, informed me the other day that J-Ski would be back, and then here it is back. And you know what? It's just so nice to be able to scan the headlines on all different sites. Thank you, J-Ski. That's the reason NASCAR's popularity has just tanked. No more J-Ski. Now that J-Ski's back, NASCAR's back.
Could be.
Could be. Could be. NASCAR will study Larson's flip. NASCAR will investigate Kyle Larson's last lap crash. Determine all the factors that led to it. Well, what was weird is he was airborne. And then he kind of got up on his door before he hit the wall. He was flying for a couple of 100 feet, which was pretty interesting. All right. And now it's time for everybody's favorite show within a show, Sports Collision.
Well, let's start here. I quickly found out that until 2014 was the first season that the drivers were allowed to pick their numbers. Until 2013, the numbers were allocated with two rules. The previous season's world champion used number 1.
Yes.
Following the champion and his teammate, car number 2. The teams were ordered by their position in the previous season's constructor championship. Up until 73, numbers were given out by race organizers. And I can go on, but it seems like 2014, they allowed the drivers to pick numbers. And whoever is the champion can use number 1.
Well, that makes sense. And so that IndyCar thing I was mentioning, advanced frontal protection to be implemented starting at the IndyCar Grand Prix.
Yes.
It's like a hood ornament. And it's on the car, and it's kind of out there. And so if some debris is coming at the driver's face, it's going to hit this and go in another direction.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So like a bug shield.
Like a little fin right in front.
Oh, it's not a
you
bug
see
shield
that?
at all. Yeah. Man.
Well, if the halo doesn't bother them.
Yeah. No, I guess you're right.
And I never hear anybody complaining about the halo. But if you're going to do this, you might as well just do the halo.
Yeah, that seems like a shark fin is what it kind of looks like.
Just like a fin, like a little hood ornament. And so the piece of debris that's coming, now you could still get hit. That's the thing, is it's...
Right, it would have to be coming like right between your eyes, essentially, for it to hit that part.
Right, and the Massa spring, was that Massa or Rubens?
Massa.
The Massa spring
would
not
more
have been
than likely
deflected by
have
that.
not hit that part, yeah. Because I think it hit him on the head, not in the face.
Well, whatever. You got to give him credit for trying stuff. All right, time for Sports Collision. What do you got? The draft, Miami Dolphins, Drew Rosen.
I think it's a great move.
Okay, well, please cheer me up because
I mean,
what is
there to be depressed about?
Omar Kelly gave them a C.
But Omar's such a hater. First of all, to grade a draft is completely ridiculous. Okay, because here, I'll grade you the 1983 draft. It was great because the Dolphins picked up Dan Marino, a Hall of Famer, with the 27th overall pick.
Yeah.
So you can go like that unless... whatever draft Seattle got Russell Wilson in the second or third round, that was a great draft, and they won. They get an A. How do you know now? There's no way to know, really. If Rosen turns out to be a 10-year starter for the Dolphins and is adequate, then the Dolphins win the draft because they just picked up I guess the equivalent of a franchise quarterback for like the 68th pick in the draft in the second round.
Okay, but what
if
about
the Giants? If that kid that the Giants picked up, who everybody laughed, if he turns out to be the next Eli for them and win a couple of championships, then they win the draft.
They
so
hated
there's no
that
way
guy.
To really...
Yeah, okay, but Omar Kelly is a Dolphins
so he can
reporter.
say whatever he wants. Look,
he says that Drew Rosen is damaged. I don't know. The answer is I don't know anything. I'm asking you, man.
Well, look,
damaged goods, not mentally tough, discarded, clearly not working out over there for a reason. Doesn't have what it takes. Big mistake.
Well, I don't know. Well, that Omar Kelly is qualified to make that judgment. He didn't work in Phoenix and see this kid. It's real simple. If that kid was coming out this year, he would have been a first-round pick, and he might have been the first or second overall pick. And the Dolphins just picked him up in the draft for like the 68th pick. Damaged goods. If you had looked at
why is he saying that?
Because he was a quarterback last year for a team that went 2-14 and got the first overall pick. But he's not. Well, yes, he has a semi-history of injury throughout his career in college. But I think he played last year without getting hurt. He's kind of thin and he looks like he could be frail. You can nitpick everybody, but we don't know if this kid now who was rejected and is being laughed at gets a chip on his shoulder and wants to and decides you don't know what he's got inside, decides that he's got it and he's going to work hard and do whatever it takes to make himself to work up to the talent that he's got.
That's a very un-Gio thing to say.
Because it's real. I
never say that kind of stuff.
I dislike the fact that they're just going to rip some kid who went 1 year after his first season under Jeff Fisher. Everybody thought that Jeff Goff, or is that his name?
Goff.
The Rams quarterback?
Yeah.
I don't remember the first name, but it's Goff. Everybody thought that he was a bust and it was a horrible pick. Well, guess what? He was in the Super Bowl last year with a new coach. the Chicago pick Trubisky looked like garbage. Well, they fired their coach and brought in an offensive coach that coached this kid up or designed an offense for his skill set. And guess what? They made it all the way deep in the playoffs and had a really good season.
So you like the move. So we have a quarterback, and he's going to battle with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I don't know that he's going to be great.
So am I talking Super Bowl or what?
But it's real simple. It was no, you're not.
Christian Wilkins.
They don't have enough around him yet. But here's the thing. There's no negative to this move. You picked up a guy for a late second-round pick. You're paying him $6 million. Arizona paid him has to pay him already the signing bonus. So if he doesn't work out, you can dump him. If he works out, he's yours for the next 3 years at about $6 million a year. It's a win-win.
Would you have taken Christian Wilkins with the number 1 pick, or would you have taken the quarterback?
I probably would have taken a quarterback.
That Haskins kid?
Yeah, he was the best available quarterback in the draft, but I don't know that this is a good quarterback draft. Again, if you like the guy, like the Giants, everybody's making fun of the Giants pick, and that's really going to be determined. While I didn't like it, but if the kid turns out to work out, then it doesn't matter. It was a good pick.
Oh, well, yeah, he's definitely going to be out. They booed him mercilessly. That was a horrible thing.
Well, because he was rated as like the 4th best quarterback, and the Giants took him 2nd quarterback in the draft, 6 overall. If they were going to do that, then they could have just waited till their 2nd pick, because he would have, in theory, still been there when they picked again with the 17th pick.
Right.
And that's the reason people. But look, the draft is trafficking in hope. And who tells you really that they had a bad draft? No one does. Everybody, because you just don't know. But the vast majority of these kids are not going to turn out.
No, we know that.
And so,
What about Myles Gaskin?
I got to tell you, the only I don't know about
what
any
about
of the
the 7th rounder? Come on,
the kid the Dolphins picked
University
in the first round
Washington.
from Clemson seems like he's fun. He's
And he can
always
do a split.
smiling. He
He can do a split.
He was dressed as a Power Ranger, one of the Power Rangers in that Halloween costume thing that they did. We saw him in the championship.
Well, he's a high energy guy, though. I like that. He's a high energy.
But he's not going to be, like a guy that. No, he's a defensive tackle.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Minka's a safety, right? And
Yeah.
so they're both high energy guys, is what I'm saying. So you
Right.
got 2, high level defensive players.
Right, but this guy's not going to lead the league in sacks or anything like that. But if he becomes a 8-10 year starter and he's a good solid run stopper and does his job, then it's a good thing. The Dolphins have so many holes that I don't know. I just feel like over the years I don't get excited over the draft because really nobody knows. It's an inexact science. If anybody knew that Tom Brady was going to be what he turned out to be, he wouldn't have lasted to the 199th pick of the 6th round.
So true.
The Patriots didn't know that. He was coming into that next season. He was their 5th. He was the 5th on the depth chart. He was, he was just going to hold the clipboard, and he did for most of the season. It was the 2nd year in that Bledsoe got hurt. Mo Lewis tried to kill him. But anyway, that's just it. That's why maybe I'm just old or broken at this point, down by life. But I don't get excited over the draft. Now, I did like that the Steelers, traded up and picked up that the kid who's the son of a former FSU, Devin Bush. But he looks like a solid player, and the Steelers could use that after their guy Ryan Shazier got hurt a couple years ago. Really hurt them defensively. And they lost, all those guys with the big mouths that at least Tomlin's going to make it seem like if they were the problem. But if Tomlin doesn't right the ship, then I don't think it's ever going to get better.
The Steelers,
they definitely can't beat the Patriots, that's for sure. They don't got what they got over there in New England.
No. Yeah, New England, they're pretty good. They keep going. Omar Kelly thought that they had a B-plus draft, just in case you're wondering.
No, I'm not. I'm not interested in anybody's draft grades, to be honest with you, again.
New York Yankees, 1.5 games out now.
There's a lot of teams that know how to collect talent, but they don't really know how to build a football team.
Boston, 7.5 out.
Well, I think they're winning today, though.
393 win percentage. What's going on over there?
Oh, they've been sucking. A lot of masturbation going on in that room.
Yeah, man. My goodness. So the season churns on.
Well, the baseball season, yeah, the Yanks. I mean, I got to tell you, I don't recognize who about 7 of these guys. If you had told me their names prior to the season, I would have not known who you were talking about.
You don't know Gio Urshela?
Well, I know Gio, but I didn't know this one.
We had 2 Gios.
I mean, they'll let any Gio pretty much play third base in New York right now.
But he's good. He's been making some unbelievable defensive plays.
He's twice the defense. I don't want to say twice. He's exponentially better defensively than Andujar.
Yeah.
And he's been hitting the ball well, too. But, no, they've just Voit, Player of the Week, and a whole bunch of nobodies. The other day, I honestly didn't recognize but 3 names in the lineup. I mean, Gardner was hitting third.
Interesting. And there you go. Any other Sports Collision thoughts?
NBA playoffs, second round started. There's some stuff going on there. The Bostons were yesterday whooped up on Gianni and the Bucks, who are the number 1 seed. And then Toronto had beat up on Philadelphia earlier on Saturday, I believe. But as of today, Philadelphia has fought back and tied that series up. And then on the West, you got over there, Golden State is battling Houston. And tonight will be the first game, Denver and Portland.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Beginning of the next round.
Second round.
Cool.
Stuff going on. This Saturday is the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, Paulie the White Guy's going over to the stream. They've got a table or something. I'm going to be in Atlanta. Hotlanta for NHRA Drag Racing Southern Nationals.
Does anybody ever actually from Atlanta use the term Hotlanta?
No. First of all, that was from like 1 season of Atlanta Braves baseball, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I remember that.
But it stuck with me for whatever reason. No, the Dirty South gets mentioned. But Atlanta, an interesting race, which is really up in Commerce. It's not quite Atlanta.
Well, a lot of places aren't quite, they don't run here in Miami.
What's cool, though, we stay in Athens, which is a college
University
town.
of Georgia.
And, birthplace of REM and all kinds of stuff.
I actually thought that was further than that, so.
What?
I didn't realize it was that close to Atlanta. I thought it was kind of far.
It is kind of far. It's like an hour drive, 50 minutes, something like that. That's why I got to get them before traffic. Otherwise, you're there for 4 hours. Atlanta traffic is nightmarish. Nightmare. So Avengers Endgame came out. I have not seen it, and I want to see it.
I have not seen it either.
I'm not going to go see it right now, but maybe tomorrow night.
Wow.
After NHRA Nitro is done, maybe I'd bust out.
Look at that. You're going to sneak out on your own?
Maybe. I want to see it before somebody ruins something, and it's inevitable. And that's why I watch the Game of Thrones, because it's inevitable. With the Twitter and the articles, you should have seen it today. Game of Thrones, 50 Game of Thrones stories just saying everything that happened in it. Why are you going to do that? To give all kinds of details. And that's got to be happening with Endgame. And
I'm sure it is. I think with the movie, it's not quite the same because it's slightly different than you actually have to go watch it at the theater. I think that people tend to reveal TV shows a little more than they do the movies. I don't know why. They usually, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like if they give it a week or 2 grace period before they start ruining movies, at least publicly on the radio. At least I feel that way. Maybe I'm wrong.
It hasn't been ruined
yet.
Yet.
Well, I mean, it's only been a few days, but yeah, I guess in theory on Friday everybody could have been ruining it already. I did hear that. Who was he?
Hey,
LaShawn McCoy was on Twitter just ruining the movie for everyone, just blurting out all the.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I want to avoid.
Yeah, but that's just such a deep move. Really? That's why? At least someone like that, I went and saw the movie on Thursday and I'm just going to start blurting out everything on Friday. Why don't you just yell it at the people waiting in line to get in? Hey,
Well, I do that.
Leo drowns at the end.
I do that. Except I make stuff up. That's one of my moves that I just when I'm there's a big line of people going in to see a movie and I'm coming out of the exact same movie, I will typically make something up that happened. And I'll be man, I can't believe that
Leo dies at the end.
Luke Skywalker turns into, whatever. And just to implant it into the minds of the unsuspecting.
But you're giving false information.
Absolutely. That in
That
no
seems kinda
way
shady too, but-
ruins their experience.
It doesn't, but in a way it kind of does. But
It just puts something
it wasn't
out there.
truthful.
No. That's just
So that's kind of different about it. But yeah,
to
not quite as shady as actually ruining it. Like maybe just yelling at
spoiler alert.
hey, don't bother watching it.
Yeah, no.
They cut off Luke's hand,
Yeah, right.
and Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite, and the bad guys win.
Bad guys win. Bad guys win. Which that could happen in Game of Thrones, by the way. Bad guys win. That could happen. I'm preparing myself mentally for it. 3 episodes left. This one was an hour and a half. That's a long episode.
So maybe it wasn't really like a 6-episode season if you start putting all these hour and a half. It was really like 9 episodes.
Right. Like how many hours is a regular season? That's the question. And how many hours is this season? And they just kind of pushed them all together. They made a bunch of long episodes.
I know you love this show and everybody loves this show, but the greatest show that
It's a
was on
cultural
TV
phenomenon.
prior to this, like The Sopranos,
What, Buffy the
used to
Vampire
have
Slayer?
20-episode seasons, I believe.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No way. 20? Come on, when you had the DVDs, it wasn't 20.
But there was 4 DVDs in
You
there.
think The Sopranos was the best show ever in the history of the world?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I like The Sopranos.
The
but
best TV show,
I
yes.
don't know if it was or not.
Okay, well, tell me which one was better. I nominated The Sopranos. Where are you?
What is it? A show? What are we talking?
Like
Are we talking
TV,
Seinfeld?
not like movies.
Seinfeld
yeah, like,
count?
Like Seinfeld, yes.
I don't know. I think Seinfeld.
Well, I disagree.
Yeah.
I think Sopranos is better than Seinfeld.
Sopranos, only the first 2 seasons were great. Season 3 was good because of Richie Aprile. That's why I'm here. And then it was downhill. Like 4 and 5 were bad. Bad.
No, only 6, part 2 was bad.
4 was Ralphie Pants. And then 5 and 6 was what?
All right, man.
Vito Bellafleur. There was a lot of just nonsense in the end. The Russian never came back. I don't know. I enjoyed The Sopranos, but I wouldn't say it's the greatest show of all time. That's a heavy statement.
All right.
It's a big statement, man. But at least you made a call. That's good. All right. Any final
All right, I
thoughts?
wasn't correct.
Of course.
It was 13 episodes per season
There you go.
for the first 5. And then the 6th season was 12 episodes for the first half and 9 for the second, for a total of 21 combined. They did 86 episodes over 6 years.
86 episodes.
Yes.
And how long has Game of Thrones been? Did we figure it out? Was 70-something hours?
Well, I don't know how many hours, but now
Yeah.
we can find out how many episodes there are.
Well, people are asking me now because I'm running into a lot of people that are saying, I've never watched one episode, and obviously it's a crazy cultural phenomenon, and maybe I'll watch Bill.
There's been 69 episodes of Game of Thrones.
69.
And over, 8 seasons. And I guess they're not done yet, so hold on, let me see what I could get you here.
3 more.
Yeah, full IMBD.
I like being part of the cultural phenomenon. The whole country watching together, experiencing something together. All the fans, like a big moment happened that I don't want to say what had happened, but immediately, like
They
memes.
had 10 episodes per season for the first 6, and then 7 last season, and 6 this one.
So 10 for the first 6, that's 60.
And then 7 and 6, so that's 70.
There it is. I feel like we did this math last week. So that's a lot of hours, man. That's a big investment to go back and start from the beginning. Big investment.
Yeah, I mean, can't argue with that.
I can't believe the journey it has been, though. Oh, my gosh. And remember, I don't know if last week I was telling you that there was a bunch of detours and derails and, that were nonsense.
Right?
I might have said that on the show.
I don't remember.
That didn't even matter.
I don't pay
No, they
attention to
mattered.
this.
I was wrong. Oops.
Oh,
Then-
you thought that they were just bringing in stuff to confuse you or deceive you?
No, there were some storylines that I just felt like went nowhere and had not been addressed, and they got addressed. It's like, oh, that lady. That lady that was with us for so long, then just disappeared. We never heard from her again. Oh, she's back with a prominent role. And that was good. It made me feel great about it. Like, they...
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel good about it. I feel good about it.
All right, I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. Like Boardwalk Empire. I'm happy about, like, my time served. Like, I came out of it a different person than I entered in. It was very interesting. All right, let's wrap it up. That's going to do it for this edition of WFO Ignition. NHRA Nitro tomorrow. We just got off a plane, getting ready to head to Atlanta. All kinds of great stuff going on. Love connecting with the WFO universe. I'm sure there's one of 100 different things that we did not catch up with. Who's the starting field of the Derby? Who's in the Derby?
God, I don't know.
Man, I thought you were bringing that up.
Well, I mentioned the Derby. You said you didn't care.
I did not say that at all. I said I will be in Atlanta, but I always care about the Derby. Here it is.
Saturday, May the 4th.
It's on Star Wars Day.
It is on Star Wars
Which
Day.
is also CC Sabathia bobblehead day.
It is.
Oh, man, Omaha Beach. That's what I'm going with. Here are the horses. Omaha Beach, 7-2. Roadster, 7-2. Improbable, 5-1. Maximum Security, 6-1. Game Winner, 7-1. Tacitus, 14-1. There's your winner. It's always something weird, like Tacitus. By My Standards, 14-1. War of Will, 16-1. Code of Honor, 18-1. Vekoma, Vekoma, 20-1. Spinoff, 25-1. Win, 25-1. Another Twist of Fate.
Are all these horses going to be in there?
40
or somebody's
to 1.
going to get? Because that seems like a lot of horses.
I think there's usually 20 horses.
All right. Just saying. It just felt like if you were mentioning
No, I
a lot of
agree.
horses.
I agree. Haikal, 50-1. Long Range Toddy, 50-1.
Haiku?
Haikal.
Oh, okay.
Haikal is the name. Haikal? Heichel.
Yeah. Heichel.
Heichel. Cutting Humor, 60-1. Tax, 60-1. Bodie Express, 100-1. Country House, 100-1. Gray Magician,
Oh, got to drop a dime on him.
100-1. Master Fencer, 100-1. Plus K Parfait. Master Fencer. Right? There's Master Fencer for the fence people putting up fences because they say, and then there's the one for fishermen.
Yeah.
The baiting of the hooks.
Oh, yeah, he would be the masturbator.
Plus K Parfait. Plus K Parfait. 100-1. Signal Man. 200-1. And Sueno. What's that mean? Sueno.
Well,
It's like bueno.
if it was an Enye, it would be sueño and it's sleepy or sleep.
Yeah, this is just Sueno. But I don't know that they have the Anye available to this CBS
Could
Sports
be.
thing.
Well, I mean, look, I know it exists on the keyboard. I don't know how to do it, but someone at work is able to write emails in Espanol with all the accents and stuff.
People are talking about Tacitus, 14-1, trained by Bill Mott. Well, what's Bafford's horse? That's your winner. Right there. Omaha Beach, man. That's who I'm going with. The Twin Spires of Churchill Downs are one of the most iconic sights in all of sports. On Saturday at 6:50 ET, over 150,000 horse racing enthusiasts will pack the hallowed grounds of the 2019 Derby. Good job bringing this up, Gio. 145th run of the Roses. We were almost out of here, but we didn't talk about the Derby. Omaha Beach, trained by Richard Mandela and ridden by Mike Smith, is a 7-2 co-favorite in the current Derby odds after impressive rides in the Arkansas Derby and Rebel Stakes. Bob Baffert's Roadster is also listed at 7-2.
Roadster.
Baffert always goes with some car-themed names.
Does he? I think you're...
Wasn't he? Did he also? He didn't own California Chrome. I know that. I don't know that. I think I know that. After besting Game Winner 7-1 at the Santa Anita Derby, in total there are 5 horses with Kentucky Derby odds of 7-1 or shorter, which could make the field difficult to handicap. That's why you want to listen to the 2019 Kentucky Derby picks. And there it is. Wonder what the hammer likes.
And by the way, those odds will change. The odds are based on what people bet.
Yeah.
And so they constantly change.
Then this guy, they're giving a thing. Oh, the Pegasus World Cup. That's by us. We're the Pegasus World Cup. Over at the Stream.
Yeah.
You ever been to Derby Day at the Stream?
I think we did.
Highly recommend. The Derby? No, we went to the Belmont.
Oh, is that what we went to? All right, there you go.
We saw California Chrome try to win the Triple Crown, and it didn't work out. Which was, unfortunate. But yeah, man, it's packed over there.
No, we went one time to the Stream at a really busy day. What was it, like Florida Derby Day or something?
Florida Derby.
Oh, okay. But right, not for the Kentucky Derby, no.
Kentucky. Well, first of all, it's better when there's actual horse racing there. I don't think there's racing when the Derby is there. I think it's just open for betting.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they have their own ticket, but bottom line, it's packed. People go. Everyone's drinking their mint juleps.
They got big hats for the ladies.
Yes, of course. The women totally dressed to the nines with the big hats.
No, everybody does too. The other men are wearing like coats and suits.
It's a costume party.
Yeah, big collars and.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's a very fun time getting in on the horse racing deal.
Appears to be a fun time. I don't know that I'd want to be in a place with that many people.
Well, whatever. You go to a basketball game, right?
Yeah,
there's more people at the basketball. There's more people at the
basketball.
Oh, you mean at the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah,
150. Yeah, they can handle it.
Well, yeah, but it's still,
like going to Bristol with 160,000 people. I've been there for that. It's nuts. It is a little nuts. Like if you allow your mind to wander into that territory, it is a little nuts that there's that many human people.
I found myself in places with a lot of other humans, but I don't think I'd want to be in that anymore. Just saying.
You got to do what you got to do. You got to go where you got to go if you want to see something special. If you want to never see anything special ever again, then you can just stay at home and be alone, and you won't have to worry about that. You want to go see something special, chances are, you know what? There's going to be other people there. And the more special it is, the more people.
Not that I hate people or anything.
Well, yeah, what are you afraid of, being trampled alive or something?
No, I'm not afraid of them.
What is it?
Just doesn't seem like comfort and like a good place for me to be hanging out anymore.
You have a phobia. People-ophobia. That's all right. Anyway, this is a little bit of a short show, everybody, but you all understand that we touched a lot of touchstones here, and there was comedy. There was some funniness. We covered the bases. NHRA Nitro later on in the week. It's all going down. I think this was, I would give this a definite B+ as far as shows
better
go.
than the Dolphin Draft.
Yeah, better than the Dolphin Draft, exactly. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. Thanks to everybody who said what's up and WFO out there at ZMAX. We had good times. It was fun. Lots of good times for Hat. And more will be had out there in Atlanta this weekend. If you're going, say what's up. All right, we'll see you later. WFO.
WFO! The views and opinions of the hosts, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect that of the station ownership, advertisers, or agencies.
Yeah, welcome to the party.